Good morning. Well, I wonder if you have moments when you have trouble accepting your own limitations. Well, I sure do. There have been moments in my life where I have lived and conducted myself as though I have superhuman strength and limited resources. But the reality is that couldn't be further from the truth. I am limited in my own capacity. I am limited in my resources. And it's in these moments that I'm reminded that I need to let go and let God. You know, there are situations in our lives where we just want to fix it. We just want to make it better. We just want everything to be okay. And so our good intentions drive us to do all that we can, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not long before we realise that we can't do it. We're limited. We can't make the change we're looking for. We can't fix the issue that we need to be fixed. We need a higher power to step in, and of course our higher power is the Lord Jesus Christ. He is infinite in power. There is no limit on His abilities. He is awesome. He is matchless, and there is no one like Him. My part in all of that, in those times when I feel out of control, when I feel helpless to do anything, is to just put my faith and my trust in Him, to let go of those situations. Because the reality is that sometimes we get in the way. Let go and let Him be God. Let Him do what only He can do. And over the years, I have watched with amazement as the Lord has applied His wisdom to my situations. And I have loved that, and I want God to continue to keep doing that. But I need to understand and I need to recognise at times my own limitations. So there are things that I need to accept. And one of the first things I need to do is understand that only God can supply for what I need and for what I lack. Human beings are relational creatures. We relate to one another in relationship. We can fall into the trap in relating to one another of leaning a little bit too much on one another to supply for our needs, forgetting that it is only God who can supply for our needs. It's only Him who can fill those gaps in our lives, because He understands us better than we understand ourselves. Romans chapter 11 verse 36 says this: "For everything comes from Him and exists by His power and is intended for His glory. All glory to Him forever." The second thing I need to recognise is my need to surrender to His unlimited nature. You know, God is the one who fills us and sustains us. He is the one who fills our mouths with truth. He is the one who appoints our times and our seasons. He is the one who provides for all our needs according to His riches in glory. And so the Lord is going to understand, it stands to reason, doesn't it, that the Lord is going to understand when is the right time to move in a certain situation. He's the one who's going to discern appropriately when it's the right time for someone to take a step further in a particular situation or a circumstance. We need to let the Lord do what only He can do. We need to surrender to His unlimited nature. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 tells us this: "Now glory be to God, who by His mighty power at work within us is able to do far more than we would ever dare to ask or even dream of, infinitely beyond our highest prayers, desires, thoughts, or hopes." That verse gets me so excited because it reminds me I don't know everything, but what I do know is this, is that God can be trusted, and He will do things that go way above and beyond our comprehension and our understanding, and His ways are always right. Praise His name. The third thing I need to recognise is that there is a part of me that only He can touch and transform, and that part of me, of course, is my own soul. And the Lord is capable, He's the only one capable of reaching right in to those deepest places in my soul, those dark places that need to be transformed with His light. And He does it with mercy, with grace, and with love. Ephesians 3:19 says this, "May you experience the love of Christ, though it is too great to understand fully, and then you will be made complete with all the fullness of life and the power that comes from God." And finally, we need to recognize that only God is infinite. Only God is infinite in power. Only God is infinite in resources. He is the one being in the universe that never changes, that is constant, that is stable. Our will and our might compared to His will and might is negligible. Job said of God in chapter 36, verse 26, these words, "Take a long, hard look. See how great He is, infinite, greater than anything you could ever imagine or figure out." You know, I don't know what things you're facing in life right now, but one thing I do know is that you need the limitless power of God at work in your situations. I want to encourage you today to surrender again those situations that are out of your control, those situations that are beyond your reach, and invite the limitless power of God to go to work in those situations. And friend, your part, don't forget your part. Your part in all of this is to trust Him, no matter how long it takes, no matter what you see or don't see, no matter what you hear and don't hear. Let Him do what only He can do. Let Him apply His wisdom to your life and to your circumstances. You know, over the years I've learned it's not a bad thing to know your limits. The key, however, is walking with the Lord and surrendering daily to His power to be at work in our lives. You know, that brings a smile to my face. It's great to know that God is willing to step in. And more than that, He wants to step in. He wants to be our all in all. He wants to meet our needs. And He's willing to do it if we would just give Him room. Be blessed today as you surrender to Him. You won't be disappointed. God bless you and have a great day.